get in where you can get in. And then if it works out at that point in your life, do it.
Yeah.
Don't try to wait until it's a perfect time. Don't try to wait like, well, if I wait a little bit longer, maybe the rates will drop.
Welcome back to the Cash Flow Podcast, the podcast where we talk about turning properties into profits. I'm your host, Jason Yoss. And before we get to today's special guest, I want to take a minute to thank our sponsors. First, Daniel's Plumbing, sponsoring all of San Diego, Orange County, and then the Inland Empire. Couldn't be here without him. I also want to say thank you to Rainforest Plumbing, Heating and Air, handling everything that they do in the Phoenix Valley. Anything we need, that's our go-to. Thank you guys for being sponsors. Again, we couldn't be here without you. Now, to my guest, Favio Ortega. Favio, how you doing?
Very good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Great to have you in studio. It's been a long time coming. Yeah, man. Yeah. A quick background, Favio, you're the team lead at First Circle Group, which is a part of the Dean Aguilar Group.
Correct.
How is it working at Dean Aguilar?
Oh, I love it, man. I love it. I think we have a pretty unique setup there in the terms of they allow us to have a team within team. So, that just speaks volumes of what kind of leaders they are. They don't need to have their name plastered everywhere. They let us kind of do our own thing, which in our industry, as you may know, it's a little bit hard to find. And
for sure.
That's one thing that I love about them. They're genuine, they care about us, and the culture's amazing.
I hear nothing but great things about culture, but tell me, you didn't just show up yesterday. How long have you been in real estate? How'd you get started?
I've been in real estate for 9 years now. And I started back in 2013 when I bought my first property, and that's kind of what got me hooked into real estate.
So buying your first property was like a complete game changer for you. What were you doing before then, and what about that first property made you think, this is what I want to do?
So I've always been in sales. I went to San Diego State College. I got my degree there in business, marketing, and management. And then from there, I went straight into corporate. And I went into Fortune 500, Penske truck leasing, doing business to business. So I've always been into doing sales, mainly because of the people and all the people that I got to meet and spend time with. So it was really, really good. But eventually, I got tired of the corporate world, the corporate politics and all kinds of stuff, So. Sure. Every salesman is like, you know what, I'm going to go and do my own thing. And that's when I started, around that time when I was having my doubts about corporate, it's when I was in the process of buying my house. So once I went through that process and I saw how exciting it was to go out and look at houses and all the things that kind of get involved with that, I was like, okay, this is it. This is the part that I want to explore a little bit more.
I love it.
I saved up 6 months of, income, and I quit my job.
Hey, I'm out.
I'm out. And 6 months in, 6 months into real estate, I was almost back into corporate because this industry is challenging, and I try to do it all on my own at the beginning.
Well, let's talk about that specifically right here.
Yeah.
I think it's great to have some sort of mentorship in the real estate world.
100%.
So when you're talking about, hey, I jumped in and I almost had to jump back out, what role did mentorship play in getting started?
I mean, that's the whole reason why I'm still here. If it wasn't for mentors, I think I would have gone straight back into corporate because obviously, I just got married. I just bought a house. At corporate, I had my salary. I had a company car. Yeah. I was comfortable, but I wasn't happy.
Right.
So I dove in, and I think I got a little greedy at the beginning as a new agent. I'm like, I'm going to go with whoever gives me the highest split, and, I'm going to make it happen because I already know sales. I know how to do all this. And man, boy, was I wrong.
I know everything.
Yeah. So 6 months in, a good buddy of mine, Ryan Ponce, called me, and he's like, "Hey man, I heard you got your license." I'm like, "Yeah, man, it's been 6 months." But you know what? I think I'm gonna go back to corporate. This is not for me. He's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude. I'm not selling anything. I need to make a paycheck. I got a mortgage to pay." Yeah. So he's like, "Why don't you give it a little more time? I'll mentor you. I'll tell you what to do. Once a week, we'll have an accountability call, and then come join our office so that you can be around people that are doing this every day."
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Well, can I do it part-time?" He's like, "If you do it part-time, I won't coach you." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "No, this is not a part-time gig. You need to be full-time, and then we got you."
If you're gonna do it part-time, he's like, I don't want to take the time.
He literally walked away from me when I told him that. I'm like,
Whoa.
Really, dude? He's like, that's how like how much I believe in this industry, and for it to be an actual career, you have to do this full time.
Right.
And sure enough, he coached me every week. We had a call at 7:00. We went over like, hey, this is what you need to do. This is what worked. This is what didn't work. And then I got to join Chad Danaker and Associates. Again, amazing team, great leadership. I learned a ton there. I got exposed into Tom Ferry coaching. I got exposed into Zillow, Flex program. And then from there, just kind of skyrocketed. The first 6 months after I joined that team, I did 4 deals. Wow. Going from zero the first 6 months. Wow. You know, so it's just being around the right mentorship, being around the right people in this industry is huge.
It's everything. It's everything.
100%.
100%. And now you continue on being at DAG, being surrounded by Dean, Afro, and the team they put together.
Yes.
What is the number one thing you've been able to garner from their mentorship?
Honestly, the biggest thing is people over profits, man. Like, they lead by making sure everybody's taken care of and making sure that everybody wins. They're not worried about their pockets. Yeah. You know, and that's kind of the same thing that I do.
That's your philosophy now, 100%. Basically. People over profits.
People over profits. Like, we're in this industry to help people achieve a goal that sometimes they couldn't even dream of. Right. You know, like, we meet a lot of clients like, man, I never thought I could buy a home in San Diego. Yeah. You know, and like being able to hear that after you helped them, I was like, oh, that's what we do.
Yeah. And you have your own portfolio. I mean, that's one of the central tenets of why you're in this business. What do you have a philosophy when it comes to your own investment property? What are you focused
on? So I can tell you from when I first started, you know, back in 2013, because it has changed over time.
Great.
23-year-old didn't really know much, you know, and back then it was just get in the game. Right. Get in the game. And so we bought our first house in 2023, and back then all we could afford was $350 FHA. We only had $10,000 to put our name down. Mind you, it's 2013, so prices were very different, and there were very selected neighborhoods and types of homes that we could afford. Right. And the only way that we would be able to make the mortgage is if we bought a duplex. Right. So our realtor took us everywhere between Logan, Imperial Beach, Chula Vista, National City, everywhere. But very few and far between homes would come up. We finally found one in Imperial Beach. And Imperial Beach 2013 to Imperial Beach now, it's not the same thing. Imperial Beach in 2013 to what it was where our parents and cousins and everybody grew up in was also not what it is now.
Fair enough.
So literally everybody told us, there's no way you guys are buying that house.
Yeah,
stay out of that area. It's not good. It's not going to grow in value, etc. Not only that, but the house was basically a teardown, you know? But hey, that's all we could afford. My wife and I walked in and we're like, this is it. And that's been the best decision we've ever made financially.
And that property, it spoke to you. It was like, hey, this is the one for us. Like, what made you say, like, no, we can do it?
I honestly, I can't. It was I hate when clients say this, but I also get it because it's like, it was a feeling.
It was a feeling.
You walked in and you're like, okay, this is it.
Yeah, this is the one.
And then everybody looked at us like, are you crazy? Like, this is the worst one. Like, you know, like there was mold, there was dog poop everywhere. It was like a hoarder house, and it was. I don't even know why I'm whispering.
It's like, yikes.
Yeah, it was that bad.
I took this kind of jump. That's
it was
awesome.
that bad, but we believed in the vision of long-term investment, right? So we got in there, fixed it up. We did the BRRRR method. We got renters right away, and then that's been our
buy, rehab, refinance, rent, and repeat the process.
100%. So once we got it rehab, rented, and refinance, we were able to use those funds a couple years after to buy our second duplex property.
Go. Now you're rolling.
It was rinse and repeat, you know. So to this day, that continues to be our piggy bank.
Have you changed? And again, being in the industry long enough to see a little bit of a cycle movement, has the mindset changed philosophically from, hey, just getting your foot in the door to, is it different now? Is it still like, if I can get my foot in the door, if I can pull the trigger, I'm doing it?
It's still the same, but a little bit more careful. You know, and there were so many red flags that I walked by back then that now that I know a little bit more, I would definitely avoid. Luckily, they didn't go the wrong way. Everything worked out in our favor, but that could have been really bad, right?
You know what? I hear a lot of people say that, and a lot of times it's like you and I sitting here going, "Hey, but it did work out." And I've had some. Both had some that don't work out perfectly. But I would tell anybody in the audience, the worst thing that can happen is, you learn a lesson, you turn the keys back in, and you walk away. And in today's mortgage industry and the way things go, like a year or two, you're back in the game. You could buy again, whether you foreclose, BK, like a year or two of getting back on path, you can do it again.
100%.
With all the lessons learned.
As long as the house didn't burn down, nobody got hurt.
That's right.
Really bad in the process. Everything else can be redone.
100%. 100%. Now, that's not the only, obviously that was the first one. But you have more than that. Give me another case study of where you had to take that leap of faith and what you used to help other new buyers at work that you help represent take that same leap of faith.
So, working with specifically first-time home buyers, I feel like a lot of, not just first-time home buyers, but just buyers in general, a lot of them are trying to time the market. Yeah. And that's literally impossible.
Right.
If there's anybody out there that can time the market, I mean, they'll be rich.
Magic 8 ball.
Oh yeah, nobody has that magic ball, right? So, for us, we never looked at it that way. For us is, again, get in where you can get in, and then if it works out at that point in your life, do it.
Yeah.
Don't try to wait until it's a perfect time. Don't try to wait if I wait a little bit longer, maybe the rates will drop. If I wait a little bit longer, maybe the pricing will drop. For us, it's hey, does this make sense to us in the moment for what we have going on and for what we want to do? Right. So going back to that duplex, once we did the refi, it was second refi, by the way. It was right at the beginning of COVID.
Right.
I mean, if you remember, real estate agents couldn't even show homes.
Right.
Everybody was scared, hey, it's illegal for you guys to go in the house.
That's right.
Everybody was terrified. Everybody was just okay, here it is. The crash is coming. The market's going to go away. But we just so happened to find a really good opportunity where there was a duplex not too far from when we had bought the other one. And
what city is that?
It's Otay Mesa. So 92154, which is borderline to Imperial Beach, right? So it's kind of blending over to that area.
Right.
So when we found out to my wife, I'm like, this is a really good buy.
What was the price point back then?
So it's a duplex, 2 detached houses on the same lot. 4-bed, 3-bath on one side, 3-bed, 2-bath on the other side.
Nice.
2020, February 2021. So right before the market lit on fire, it was $750.
Okay. Wow.
I kid you not. 3 months after, when we did the renovation, it was worth 1.18. So again, the Bird method worked out perfectly at that point.
Why were you able to find such? I mean, even in February 21, I know there were lows, but it was still hard to get stuff.
It was.
What made it so that you were able to find such a great deal?
And this is the other part too, where I think it scared a lot of people. That there was some history with the house, where there had been a death in one of the properties.
Okay.
But it was told to us that it was due by natural causes. Obviously, neighbors all have their stories.
Right.
But the biggest difference was that the person that passed away had gang affiliation.
Okay.
So they have they would have a shrine literally in our yard.
Really?
Every week. And I'm talking candles, I'm talking tagging. So after we bought it, it happened twice. So we're like, man, this is going to be a problem, right? We're not going to be able to rent this place. And lo and behold, being so close to Coronado Navy base, we had 4 young Navy SEALs rent the house together.
Nice.
When I tell you nobody else came back after that, it was like it all kind of clicked in, right? So it just worked out in our favor. My wife and I, when we bought that and we found that out, we're like, okay, we got a plan for this.
Right.
We got.
You weren't scared. You were like, you know what? This is the right opportunity. We're gonna overcome this.
Yeah. So we again, going back to kind of how we approach it, we plan for the best, we prepare for the worst,
right,
and then we deal with whatever comes out of it.
Sure.
So we planned knowing going in hey, we're probably gonna have to rent this really, really affordable for somebody to come in and be okay with at least having a conversation with them. Hey guys, we live here now. This is our home. We understand, and hope that works. If that doesn't work, what are we gonna do? Type thing, right? Hey, we're gonna flip this property. We're gonna sell it and get out of here so that another investor can get out of it.
Right.
And then we'll deal with whatever comes out of that. So we already had a plan and we were prepared. Luckily, again, it worked out in our favor in the sense of the right tenants moved in, never had issues again. But we never timed it. We never timed it, and we always had a plan of worst case scenario, best case scenario, and then let's go with that.
Do you think that when young buyers come to you and you tell them like, hey, this is what you can afford, this is where you need to be, that you're having to set kind of new expectations for them? Are they thinking like, hey, I want to buy in Del Mar, or are they realistic right out?
Most people are pretty realistic. Most people are coming to us already kind of having an idea of like, hey, I understand where I stand type thing. And a lot of the times they undershoot themselves.
Right,
You
right.
know,
That's
a lot of
yeah.
the times they come in like, I don't think if my credit's good enough. I'm like, dude, you have a 680. Like that's
It's-
perfect. You
yeah,
know, like, oh, I don't know if I have enough money saved down. Okay, let's get you credit from the seller. Like,
yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like there's so much info that they have readily available, but at the same time, it's very confusing and overwhelming for them to like trust it. So that when they sit down with us, they come in like, I don't know if I can buy this. I don't know if I can do this. And I'm like, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Very rarely do we have that first time home buyer. We're like, hey,
you gotta
you
dial
know,
it back a little
I
bit,
work
right?
part time and I want to buy a mansion in Del Mar. Like, like very rarely does it happen. It does happen, but very
I
rarely.
like that you're telling me that it's the opposite way. It's more often than not, you're actually saying, no, you can get more than you think you can. No, we can actually
100%.
accomplish this more than you thought. Like a duplex, telling a first time home buyer, like, hey, we can buy a duplex. They're like, what do you mean?
Yep. Yeah. Hey, you can use 75% of the incoming rents on the second unit, third unit for you to qualify.
And FHA 1 to 4, you can get
Had
it
had
three and a
no
half down.
clue. Oh, Fabio, this house is so ugly. I don't think we can finance it. Yeah, FHA 203. Look,
Boom.
the listing agent already talked to them. They're willing to contemplate that type of offer, and then they'll help you. The loan would help you with the rehab. I mean, there's so many solutions that we can find. It's just a matter of getting people to meet with us and actually have like this type of conversation rather than just go strictly of what they read online. Which is unfortunate.
It's That's the big key. What you're saying right there makes all the sense. But let's flip it the other way. Okay. What is the biggest challenge that you see in the market today, especially for your clients?
So I think for us right now, it's affordability.
Okay.
Being able to help people. I mean, I'm sure they can qualify on paper. They'll make those payments. The bank will be happy to lend that money to them. But, some of the areas that I work in, I mean, I work in Chula Vista. East Chula Vista is going to have HOA. They're going to have Melrose. You have, higher taxes, higher price points. So you're getting a pretty hefty monthly payment. So the challenge then becomes, hey, a young family buys this house. Do you have money to, enough money left over to go to the beach and have a beach day where you want to buy ice cream afterwards? Like you start questioning the lifestyle after. So I think that's a big challenge for people. For
What
sure.
do they call that term, like being like house poor, like
Yeah, 100%. Like beautiful house, but then what now?
yeah.
Like you want to go out and have some fun, take your wife out to a nice dinner, etc.
And you have that anxiety over like I got to make that payment every month. So San Diego is
Yeah,
it's pricey.
100%. And I think that is a challenge. So, but then again, there's always a solution, right? Like, hey, maybe you don't need the big single family house with the 3-car garage. A townhome might work fine.
Right.
Like
Right.
let's get in the game.
Yeah.
And then kind of go from there. So
Yeah.
it's just setting those expectations for people.
When you sit them down to explore options, what do you normally hear from them when you say like, hey, like, okay, this is what you got on paper. Here's what we're looking at. What's their first response?
Oh, I don't want to spend that much. I know I qualify,
Yeah.
but that monthly payment's scary.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's work it backwards.
Right.
Right. So rather than the bank telling you what you qualify for, what do you want to pay a month?
Right.
All in, tell me. And then we'll work it backwards and I'll tell you what purchase price that's going to be.
Yeah.
Based on that purchase price, I'll tell you what locations and type of homes you can get. And if that works for you, great, we have a plan. If that doesn't,
Right.
then we have to find a compromise.
You work like you have your own team, right? Full
Yes.
circle. Okay. Who else is on the team, and how did you decide that you wanted to do it more than just yourself?
It goes back to how I got in the business.
Got it.
It goes back to me paying it forward, right? Like I had somebody that kind of held my hand and helped me succeed in this business. So I want to pay it forward in the sense of like, hey, I get it. Like corporate is not for everybody. We have really smart, hardworking people out there that just feel like, okay, well, I did the whole college thing. I have my degree, and then I have to go do corporate. You don't really have to do that. Or like, hey, I just want to be a business owner, and real estate is what you want to do. Let me help you build your own business.
Right.
So that's the main reason why we started it. Right now, there's 5 of us. So we have an operations manager and then 4 agents, and most of them are fairly new. Full Circle Group's only been around for about 2 years, a little bit over 2 years. We just started recruiting agents about a year ago.
Got it.
So I think our most tenure agents literally been with us for a year.
Wow.
Because it took us a year to get to where we don't want to just attract people and figure it out when they're here.
Yeah.
Let's build the systems and the processes so that when they come in, they know exactly what they expect.
Systems and process is the way to go, and I'm so glad that you were able to go through that and show why you're doing it. Because a lot of people, that's what makes it happen, the why.
Yeah.
Before we close out, I want to ask one final question. I think it's very important, especially after being in the business for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
So if I got the DeLorean out, the time machine, okay, Fabio, and I put you in it, and you were able to transport back to talk to baby Fabio over there and say, hey, you're just breaking in the industry. What's the one piece of advice you would give to your younger self?
Trust the process. Trust the process. I know there's days where you're like, man, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And you feel like this is not gonna work. This is it. Like, I gotta go back. And you just gotta trust the process, man.
You were that close.
Man, I was literally like a phone call away. And then had I not trust the process, I wouldn't be here right now. And I wouldn't have the lifestyle that I have, the freedom that I have. Like, being able to drop off my son at school, pick him up whenever I want, like not have to ask for permission to go on vacation. Like, to me, that's priceless. So trust the process. That's it. It's going to get scary. It's going to get stressful. Just trust the process.
Favio Ortega, Full Circle Group. Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate you being on. For everybody else, thank you again for tuning in to the Cash Flow Podcast, the podcast where we talk about turning properties into profits. We'll see you next week.